A Scottsbluff man convicted multiple times for beating a woman has landed himself in prison following his latest conviction. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a 35-year-old Scottsbluff man with multiple domestic assault convictions will be spending time with the Nebraska Department of Corrections. In July, a Scottsbluff County District Court jury found Adric Blanco guilty on a Class 3A felony charge of third-degree domestic assault with prior convictions. That stemmed from a 2023 altercation where Blanco hit his child's mother in the face 6 to 7 times after the child spilled blueberries on the floor. On Thursday morning in Scottsbluff County District Court, Blanco was sentenced to a period of not less than 24 months at an NDOC institution and did receive credit for 117 days already served. Well, no jail time for a Scottsbluff woman arrested earlier this year following a series of controlled drug buys conducted by the Wing Drug Task Force. 38-year-old Mindy Reed was arrested in February on 2 Class 1D felony counts of distribution of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a school or playground. Investigators say Reed sold a total of 55 suspected fentanyl pills to cooperating individuals in December of 2022 and January of 2023. She ended up pleading no contest to a single count of distribution of a controlled substance, and yesterday was sentenced to 3 years of probation by District Judge Andrea Miller. And Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen declared November as Adoption Awareness Month. During a proclamation signing at the Nebraska State Capitol this week, Pillen called it an opportunity to celebrate and honor the adoptive families in our state, as well as raise awareness for the continual need for services to assist children waiting for adoption across Nebraska. So far in 2024, more than 350 children have been adopted in the state, and more than 150 children are currently available for adoption. For National Adoption Day on November 23rd, 60 more children will be adopted into new families. We'll have more news right after this.
Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
Welcome back. Keep Scottsbluff Caring Beautiful is hosting their annual pharmaceutical take-back program this weekend, providing a safe and proper way to dispose of sharps and expired, unused, and unwanted medications that is free this year. Clean Harbors will be in attendance on Saturday from 9 to 11 to collect the pharmaceuticals and sharps for proper disposal, along with local law enforcement for collection of any prescription narcotics. Keep Scottsbluff Caring Beautiful Executive Director Cassidy Baum tells KNB News they will be at a new location in the parking lot of the North Platte Natural Resources District near the Scottsbluff Airport.
Yeah, we'll still do kind of the drive-through format at the front there. People can come in the first entrance. We'll have some volunteers out there to take your items, and then you can just kind of pull right out of the parking lot and head on your way.
You're asked to bring medications in their original packaging and sharps in marked plastic or biohazard containers. For more information about the event, call Keep Scottsbluff Caring Beautiful at 632-4649. And Theater West will host a fall fundraiser at the Flyover Brewing Company in Scottsbluff this Saturday starting at 6 p.m. Board member Rich Briggs tells KNB News the Theater West Sing-Along at Flyover is a fun-filled event with food, music, drinks, and friends. He says attendees will sing well-known popular songs led by Theater West artists for a fun-filled night that you should not miss. Tickets for the fundraiser are $35 each or 2 for $65, which does include a pizza and wings buffet, and drinks are available for purchase. Tickets are available from Theater West board members or by calling the Theater West box office at 635-6794.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the Scottsbluff Body and Paint Ag Desk. Scottsbluff Body and Paint, you're driving home our reputation.
Welcome to this week's Cattle Call. I'm Susan Littlefield on the Rural Radio Network. Cattle Call now being brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. As Brad Koima joins us this week, back from the hunt out west, much needed vacation time for him, though anytime you go hunting is a lot of work, but much deserved time away from the office to come back. And let's do some unpacking. We had the election. We had a higher stock market taking place on a Wednesday. We have a discount to the cash going on. And let's just talk about that cash. How much work is going to have to go into getting the numbers where we want them to be this week? Let's take a look at all of that. As you heard me mention, Brad Koima. He's with Koima and Varlick out of Sioux Center, Iowa. And welcome back, Brad. It brings an interesting week. Post-election now, we can focus on new things.
Well, thanks a bunch for having me on, Susan. It's one of my favorite things to do here, obviously, is your program. And I'm not sure I deserve a vacation at all, but it was a nice time. It's always fun to be in the mountains. It's managed to harvest a nice mule deer too, so that was fun. But yeah, is anybody missing those political ads yet? I know I sure am. Gosh, it's just can't hardly listen to the radio, right? So a lot going on, and a lot of general things that frankly are above my pay grade. I mean, one of the things here, of course, that we've had is Trump's been president once, so everybody's going to go like, well, what happened the last time, right? 2016 was not a great cattle year, as you recall, but I don't think that had really anything to do with who was president. We were finally coming off of that hangover that was 2015, where the market started to break and we got behind, and we got cattle that were way too fat and way too big and lost all our leverage and blah, 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 blah. And the thing didn't get better until basically the end of 2016. I can show you my scar. And then it did get better. Okay. So, I think some of the people that, they're smarter than me, these pundits that are going to say, well, now that this person's elected, this is exactly what's going to happen. If it were that easy, I'd be surprised. I do think that, some of the clearly what Trump has talked about with tariffs and being tough with our trade partners are significant worries, I think, particularly in my opinion, to the corn and beans and the hogs. Lesser so on the cattle. Yeah, we do export some cattle, but not the percentage, for instance, that we do in the hogs and stuff like that. So, there's a lot going on. I today, nice day. I didn't really know whether the market was going to start lower, with the idea that agriculture is going to slow down with the trade talk stuff. But obviously, today's winner was the fact that the stock market was sharply higher, and we seem to follow that more than anything else. Now, don't forget, though, you take a little bit of back it up just a hair. We're way off our highs. We'd had this big bull market run. Now I've had a nice correction. We held at a good spot, right on moving average support, right on retracement level support. And now we're trying to rebuild and maybe start another leg up. I choose to be in that camp. There are some guys that are bearish, and they've got, they got a story too. But I tend to think trading at a discount to cash is still a positive thing.
You talked earlier, before we even started this program, about how much hard work was going to have to go into this cash market this week. Early predictions were saying it was going to be lower, both in the north and the south, because cattle have been bought up so quick. Is that going to be a repeat of this week, or is there the possibility we could see some higher?
We've seen, I'm going to guess, okay, I sure there's a possibility, especially if this futures market thing would stay hot like this, but the sense I get coming into the week is after being 190 for 3 weeks ish, 2 for sure, that we might not quite get there this week. I know that seems to be a popular feeling. I think part of the problem is the basis, Susan. You're looking at a December futures at 185.40. The South always brags about how they're such a big hedger. Well, if you're actually hedged and you got futures at 185 something, you might take 188 or 189 because you view the basis as being attractive. So that's going to be a problem. Now, in the short term, moving cattle on a timely basis is not a problem. Okay, staying current is not a problem. And I think the futures market at a discount like that is much, much better and much, much healthier than the other way around, where you're tempted to say, hey, the feed is cheaper, I'm going to make them bigger, blah, blah, blah. Feeder cattle are too high to buy. But if you put me on the spot, I'd say steady will be all of it. And I wouldn't be at all surprised that cash might be just a little bit softer this week.
You talked about this cheap feed equals heavy weighted cattle. And that sounds like that's going to be a concern we're going to see continuing into the fall.
If you're bearish, that's probably one of the, your bullet points. Cheap feed does lead to cheaper cattle. There's historical, proof of that. Now, if that was the only thing that affected cattle prices, wouldn't that be an easy thing for an analyst to look at? I actually, as I referenced in that trying to answer that last question, when people are willing sellers, that's where we are now. We're a long ways from the other side of that, where, the average weights are big. The grade is not. Some of that's how we feed cattle, or how some of you guys are feeding cattle. I just feel like that this yearling crop of cattle that were bought as yearlings, cattle that will be sold, say, into December, January, February, March, in that first quarter, they were high priced. I have some. I think if we can get those cattle marketed, we're going to say, phew, let's get rid of them, because I was afraid they were going to lose money from the day I bought them. So I don't sense that, but certainly I think whether we stay current or not is going to be the macro fundamental. That's going to be the most important thing here to watch next year as we move on to move along into the early spring and summer. So, but in the near term, I just don't think there's enough cattle to go around. I think Packers making money. I think the demand has been good. I think that there's, if people look at it and say, hey, we've got a election that maybe gives us a little more confidence in the ability of this economy to spring back a little quicker than it might have otherwise, then I think that the everything moves along smoothly here. So I still think we've got some leverage. Let's keep it that way.
And as I saw a thing on social media the other day, it said it was a turkey holding a sign that said "Eat beef" for Thanksgiving. So let's hope there's some good beef, strong movement.
Yeah, don't forget, for one day there, we're not gonna, whatever. Yeah, I don't, I don't view that as being a significant problem at all. Let's, the next thing you'll start talking about is whether the weather gets a little bit worse again. So no, it's all good.
Don't be talking that. What's the best way for folks to get a hold of you, Brad?
Look us up at kkbtrading.com or 712-722-0023 is the telephone number.
All right, that's been another edition of Cattle Call. Quick reminder, commodity futures and options do involve a substantial risk of loss, not suitable to all investors. And that's a Cattle Call being brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank, right here on the Rural Radio Network.
Renewal by Anderson has done it again. Their incredible Black Friday event is back, and it's better than ever. But don't wait. Call and book today. Do not miss this one. You get 20% off every window, plus a Visa gift card for up to $2,000 right before Christmas. No money down, no interest, no payments for 18 months. Don't pay a dime until 2026. Call today. Act fast. This incredible offer only runs from November 15th through December 14th. Do not wait. Book your free estimate right now at rbawyoming.com.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Changing leaf colors means yard work. Your friends at Tri-City Stormwater wants to remind you of the proper way to dispose of fallen leaves. Leaves make great mulch for trees and bushes and compost for future gardens. The city also has yard waste bins, so they can dispose of all your leaves at the city compost facility. Always keep your leaves out of the gutters. Not only do they cause clogging and flooding, they can pollute our waterways by causing nutrient overload. So keep your yard looking good and your drinking water safe, because it's our water, our responsibility.
Tired of feeling stuck? Not sure if you are on the right track? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward with checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Control your financial future with helpful budgeting tools and automatic savings plans. Now is the time to enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
And finally tonight, the 43rd annual Gift of Love campaign by Riverstone Bank is officially underway. The goal of this effort is making the holidays brighter for kids and families in need through 5 programs, including Coats for Kids, canned food collection by the schools, and the Truck of Love. Riverstone Marketing Director Becca Pierce says the cornerstone is the Tree of Names, where tree tags contain names and wish lists of anywhere from 280 to 340 area children.
They range from socks and underwear all the way up to V-Bucks and Fortnite games and Xboxes, but we just want everybody to remember that these are the wish lists of the children, and so we don't guide what they have to put on them. We want them to have a joyous Christmas. So we just let people go where they're led. So if you can only do one thing off the tag, that's absolutely fine. If you can do everything in those bigger, high-priced items, that's fine too.
Name tags can be picked up at the Scottsbluff branch now and the Gering branch starting this weekend, and gifts need to be returned unwrapped to either location by December 11th. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.